welcome back to Fairview Farm. It is August the 28th and the grass has finally dried to hay here on the field. So I'm going around at the moment and we are rowing it up, ready to get some baling. I'm hoping to get this field all rowed up today and then we'll get this baled. We also want to get the straw baled today if I can as well. I'd love to have all of this finished and our very busy August finished off ahead of what's turning out to be a fairly busy September as well. We have the builders booked in to come and knock down the shed, and the architect has finished up the plans now that we've actually had a fairly decent run with getting planning permission for what we want to do. So we're getting all of that lined up and ready to go, and so that's going to be happening next month. And we also got the agronomists coming in next month as well. They're going to be getting all of our field scans so that we can make sure that we treat these properly and get the most out of our crops next year after that fairly disastrous harvest we had earlier in the month. I'm just hoping we're going to get enough straw off the arable field in order to be able to use that for a year. Otherwise we're going to have to go and buy some more straw, so we'll see how many bales we get off there today. But this is dried out fairly well over the last couple of weeks and is now absolutely ready to bale, ready for us to see exactly how many bales we should get off here. And I think this being the field that it is, it's going to be quite good, which is great. I'm really looking forward to getting this all baled up, and and then we're going to have to find somewhere to store it temporarily, because of course until we get a new shed built, we have not got anywhere to put any of these bales. Once again, I'm going to try and go across the slope as much as possible. We're going to do the actual rows up and down this edge here. That should A, allow me to work my way up the field, but also B, allow me to get the bales done across the slope. We don't want to be releasing round bales on actually going down the slope. They'd all just roll into this bottom corner. So we're going to do our best to keep them as well into as much across the slope as we can. That is going to require a little bit of work further down as well. We're going to have to make sure that when we're releasing bales from the baler, that we're releasing them across the slope as well, because there is a little bit of an odd shape to this field, as you can see. But I think that should work out fairly well, especially doing this across here like this. We're going a little bit downhill, but it won't take much adjustment to get the bales to actually go where I want them to. We just need to keep things going nice and straight with these lines, and we'll then be in a position to get things baled. I am not going to be rowing up the straw. I've decided that it'd be a waste of our time, really. The width on those straw swaths is wide enough for, well, is too wide to really get more than a couple of rows together with this windrower. So it'd be much easier just to keep going and get the baler on there straight away, rather than worrying about it with our going over it with the windrower first. It would just be a waste of fuel and a waste of time to do that, I think. My tractor's running much better now. We had it into the workshop to do some TLC and make sure that everything was working as it should. Did find a couple of faults with it and basically got some spare parts, tinkered around with it and got it back to full working order. It's one of the nice things about having a tractor of this age on the farm. Unlike the modern tractors where I'd need a whole diagnostic tool and everything to try and work out what's wrong. With this, I know that I can get into the guts of it, that I can fix the various, you know, various problems that come up with a tractor of this age, and that it's not going to be too expensive for me to do it. It's one of those fears I have for getting something more modern on the farm, that I'm gonna have trouble repairing it and keeping it going myself. When we've got a farm that runs basically on a single tractor, at a pinch we could run things here mostly with the David Brown, but for the most part this tractor runs the entire farm, and to not be able to work on this tractor myself and keep this tractor going, it could lead to downtime of days that at a really pinch time we can't do. So I'm very happy that I'm still able to work on this, that I know this tractor basically inside out. I spent many years helping to keep it running with my father on the farm, and yeah, it's nice to be able to get into the guts of it from time to time and fix any issues if it's doing things like it was doing last time, where we were conking out a little bit and trying to figure out what's wrong. Right now it's running really smoothly, and handling this job certainly fairly easily. I don't think it's going to have any issue with the baler whatsoever. These roads here worry me a little bit. We are definitely going uphill at this point, and trying to make sure that we're not going to get rolling bales off this section is going to be a little bit of a task. It's going to be an interesting one to try and keep everything where it should be. At the top end of the field here, there won't be any issue at all, because we've got that whole nice flat bit for the most part. Well, we've got the slope in the right place here, and it's because this field slopes up towards this corner. We end up with this slope here that's fine, and then we get to the corner here and back into the here, and suddenly we're going downhill again. So we will we'll have to be careful at this point here, but we should be all right, I think, in general. We just need to be careful when we're baling this up, and make sure that we turn the baler across the slope when we go to release the bales. Last little bit on the field, and we're just gonna have to do a little bit of clean up towards the top, because there's a small patch that's not been included. So lift up at the bottom here, or a little bit further. Yeah, lift up at the bottom here, and then we should be able to head up the top and just include the little patch in. So what I want to do is line things up here, down with the pickup, or down with the windrower, and then we'll go straight down the middle of this to include this little section in. And there we go. Oh, got a little bit of the headland in, but that's not such a bad thing. Turn that all off. You can then get it all folded up, and we'll go park this back in the yard. And oh, on the way, we come this way into the yard, I can fill up the tractor as well. We need to grab some fuel, so just park up here, turn her off, and we can get this fueled up. Before we continue, this video is brought to you in partnership with the awesome people at Apex Gaming PCs. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to create my own custom line of PCs suitable for everybody from beginner farmers to virtual farming experts. Apex Gaming PCs are offering up to $250 off your next purchase just by using my link in the description below. So go check them out. So this should fuel up fairly quickly and be pretty good. Yeah, there we are. Got it nicely filled. Start her up. And we'll part this up. We'll grab the baler. I think I've already got some rat in it, or some net in it. So that should be good. And we can start getting that field baled. Now... this needs to last us most of the year. One of the good things about us doing 3 cuts a year is if we look like we're getting low on some hay, or low on the hay, I should say, we'll be able to get the whole, we'll be able to go and do another run. As long as it's not in the middle of winter, we've always only a month or so away from doing a run. So we can very easily sort things out. Should say we've been having to clean up around the yard, so we got rid of all the rubbish that was down the side here. We have these have arrived, so you can see the rubbish that we've been cleaning up. We've filled 1. We've got 2 more ready to get filled. We've cleared up all the rubbish and everything around here as well. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to opening this up. I think we're going to get rid of this wall as well. We're going to get rid of... let's just jump this. We're knocking this barn down. We're knocking this lean-to down, which has a fairly weird shape to it. I mean, it slopes down towards the front, which just makes it harder and harder to put stuff into. And then we might get rid of this shed as well. We don't have a lot of use for it. It is lit and does have a good well, it actually lights everything around here, but it's yeah, I'm not sure about this. I think we want to open up everything here, so I think we're probably gonna get rid of this shed, this barn here, all of this wall, and this, open everything up here a bit. We need access in here, of course, because this is where we are load up our cows from. But I think we could open things up around here a lot, and just make the whole of the farm that little bit more manageable. So we're going to be doing that, and getting things going a bit. I am also still looking to get some chickens. We'll probably sort them out next month as well. And once we've sorted them out, we'll be able to get some eggs on the farm as well. So a lot going on. A lot of people suggesting that we just have the chickens around the farmyard, and I'm kind of open to that. We are going to have space once the... this is the thing, around this area here would probably be quite good, and we're going to have space to put a chicken hutch in at the edge here once we got rid of these skips. So yeah, there's space for us to have chickens around here, and I think we might go and take up on that and get that done. So chickens coming next month as well, although we'll have to go down there and get a few crates of them. And I think we'll start with a few, and we'll slowly work our way up. So we'll breed some as well. Close that gate. And right, we got our class Roland 66 baler here on our 7610. We'll get it started up, drop it down, and yeah, this should go pretty well, picking up nicely. And now we're going to create some hay bales and have some more feed for our cows, which is good because I really need to get some in. We're about 2/3 of the way around the second headland. We've had 5 bales so far, and they've all released on fairly easy to manage places. All of them have, yeah, you can see we've got a couple down there where it's fairly flat. There's one behind us there where it's fairly flat. We've had one up the top where it's fairly flat as well. The only one that's had a little bit of fun has been the one up just around this corner. We're beeping at the moment. Yeah, there we go. So reverse that up. And we can unload somewhere a little bit out of the way. We're not on much of a slope here. I will just reverse it round to about there-ish. I think should do it. So unload that there. And that, with any luck, shouldn't roll anywhere. Just keep an eye on that as we're pulling away. No, that's sitting there rather nicely. Yeah, the only one here was this one up the top here. Managed to be, well, on a really steep slope. And most bales takes quite a bit of slope to get them rolling. If I hadn't put this one at an angle like this up the top here, then we would have had an issue. It would definitely have been rolling down towards that bottom corner and into the hedge. That's 7 bales in total off the headlands here, which is really good. That's a great start. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work my way up the field doing alternate rows, giving myself an easier time to turn around. So just reverse this up, get our pickup down like so, and away we go. And yeah, we'll work our way up the field and then back down and get all of the rest of this baled up. Judging by the fact that we got 7 bales off here, I think we're heading for maybe 20 bales off this field, which should keep us going for a good while. Been quite pleasant for most of August, but today is really dull and overcast. The light is fairly flat, and the temperature has definitely dropped a bit. You can feel it in the air. I'm wondering if we've got some rain on the way. It's not a bad thing now that we've got everything out of the way for the rain to come. Might actually be quite useful on the farm. But yeah, you can. There's a tinge in the air for rain at the moment, and I'm wondering if we're going to get a bit of a downpour. If we are, I really need to get these bales under cover fairly quickly. I think what we might do is I'll move the combine out and the forage wagon out, and we can stack these in the second silage pit. We've got we're not going to be using that probably until next year, because at the moment I'm holding off covering what we have in the first silage pit so that we can get November's cut into it, which will be a much bigger cut because we won't be doing any hay in November. And yeah, so we've got space for now in there, and we can do that until we have some dedicated space for these bales, and that should work quite well for us. I think that's gonna be a place that we can store this. We've always been using the second silage pit, whichever silage pit we don't have in use. That one has always been sort of an extra storage shed, which is part of my wanting to remodel the yard, is because of that. Back her up and unload another bale out, and yeah, we're not on enough of a slope for that to cause a problem at the moment. But yeah, that's a lot of the want to do that has been because I want to be able to get a quicker turnaround with our silage pits. I feel that with the kind of amount that we can cut off here, we're looking at about 200,000 litres of silage a cut. when we're not doing a hay cut like this. We should be able to load up one silage pit, get that fermenting for 3 months, and then that'll be ready, and we can do a much more steady income from the silage every year, rather than having it sit there for months, which does not produce the best quality silage. And the BGA is wanting better and better stuff every year. Plus, we want better and better stuff for our cows as well. That's the thing. We need good quality silage to keep producing good quality milk. And if we're going to expand the cows at all, we are going to need that good silage. Right, we are on a bit of a slope now. So what I want to do is just bring this around, bring the baler across the slope like so. Then we'll unload it. The bale won't roll anywhere, and you can see in the shadow that it's not going anywhere. And then we just pull ourselves here, drop the drop down again, or drop the pickup down again. And away we go, and we get some nice steady bales on a slope. We're approaching the top of the field here, and I released a bale, or a couple of bales there on the slope. The bales actually take quite a bit of slope to roll. So this bit here, we know that here I would need to have the bale at the side. Further down there where the slope's just a little bit less, it's not quite so bad. We're able to easily handle, or the bale's easily able to just stay there with the slope. So it's not too bad. I think I possibly took a bit of a risk releasing this one here on such a slope there without putting it across the slope. The other one there that I just sighted, that's actually on a lot lower gradient. In fact, that's almost horizontal there. So not too bad. We seem to be handling this fairly well, and now we're over halfway through the field. So we will have this baled up in no time. The other difference, of course, is which direction you're going when you release the bale. So unloading a bale in this direction here, this means that I do need to turn across the slope. Otherwise, the bale just gets released from the back of the baler and rolls down the hill. If you're releasing it while going downhill like this, the baler actually stabilizes the bale after it comes out and immediately stops it rolling. So you end up being able to put a bale out on a much steeper slope when you're going downhill than when you're going uphill. Uphill is definitely when you need to be more cautious and make sure that you're actually releasing the bale in a stable way across the slope. But if you're going downhill, more often than not, you can get a lot away with a lot steeper slope when you're releasing the bale. Case in point, released a bale here. We are very much on a downward slope, and you can see out here that the bale is stabilized by the bar at the back. So now if I pull the tractor forward a bit, like so, the bale should stay put. In fact, it's following me downhill a little bit. Let's see if we can't just... Yeah, there you go. Nice stable bale, held in place by the bar, and that isn't going anywhere. So relating this bale here, that would go straight down the slope. So we'll turn across the slope here, unload this. Bale will stay where it should be, and then we can continue on. Yeah, with a nice stable bale on there. So with nothing to stop it from rolling down the hill, nothing to stabilize it. Absolutely can't take the risk. Needs to release it across the slope. And yeah, it's just they're not going anywhere, which is perfect for us. We have 3 more rows after this, so not much more of this field to do, thankfully. And yeah, I'm just looking at the amount of straw that there actually is on our other field. I don't think we're going to get that many straw bales off the next field. Don't think we're quite going to get 20 bales off this field. Just gone a whole row without having the beep even turn on. Yeah, so this will be the last bale off here. There's not enough in this row, I don't think, to get another bale off. We'll back this up, turn off the pickup, back it up, and unload the bale that's in the back. And that will do us on here. We'll get the forage wagon out. I'm not going to waste this remaining hay. We'll get the forage wagon out. We'll get that collected up, and we will give that to the cows. Let's close that up then, and we can now head over to our arable field and go and start collecting up the straw. 19 bales in total off here, so that is a really good number. I'd liked it to have been 20, but yeah, it just wasn't quite enough hay there. Hopefully we can up the yield on all of these fields after we actually know what soil we've got where on the farm. But now I can easily switch over with a nice empty baler, and we'll get started on the straw. And yeah, as I said, this is a lot thinner on the ground than the hay was, so I think the bales are going to take a little while to actually come out. Actually, not too bad. We are about halfway, 3/4 of the way around the field. And we're close to our first bale. Yep, there we go. So, press this up and unload it. So, first bale round here. Actually, that bodes pretty well for getting quite a few bales off this field. I was actually dreading the number, considering the pretty low yield we got off the wheat on here, but it's not at all bad. We've had a surprisingly large amount of straw off this headland. This is our 5th bale that we're unloading now, and we only got 6 bales off the other field, off the hay that we've just done. So from a much smaller field with about the same amount of width on headlands, because this is 4 rows, and we had 2 rows off the windrower, so about the same, and we've ended up with only 1 less bale, which would suggest that we're getting about as much straw off here as we got hay off that field. I'm amazed by that. I thought we were going to have a much lower amount here. This looks a lot thinner on the ground, this straw, than the hay did. So I'm quite pleased. I think we're going to end up with maybe 10 bales, 12 bales off this field, which would be a good result. That would keep us going for a good while on the farm and gives us a lot of leeway to improve next year. It is gonna be nowhere near how much I estimated a moment ago. We have not had a single bale come out the whole way up this field, and yeah, we're probably gonna make it to the top, or almost make it to the top, before we need to empty this baler. So that basically means we're gonna get 1 more bale off here, and total is gonna be 7, not 10. I'm amazed by that. We got so many off that headland, and then the actual main part of the field has just been thin. Oh, and we need to do something about that. Pulled away too fast. I'll just very carefully park that there. Stop the bale with the baler. And slowly move away from it. There we go. That stabilized it. Yeah, not the greatest thing to do, but I don't want it going into the creek. That would be very bad. We'd have a very wet, very horrible bale, and it seems from here that we want to avoid that at all costs, because every bale we have on this field now is precious. On the way back, I'm actually a little bit surprised. We've got another bale out, although looking at where we are, it wasn't quite as disappointing as I thought. We did have a bale at this end of the field that came out, so I thought we hadn't had one. We did. I'd completely forgotten about one that I had emptied out earlier. We're looking then at maybe getting one more bale out of here. That would be very good. I'd be very happy if we got another bale out of here. That would take us up to 8 bales in total, I think, and as a result, not make this harvest quite as disappointing, but I still would have liked to have had 10 more than 8. The 2 extra bales would have come in very useful. But we can't have everything, unfortunately, and as I said at the time, this harvest was very disappointing, and it seems that the straw is mirroring that. We'll just have to see whether we get a nice complete bale off the bottom part of this field here, or whether we're gonna be short. And I think we're gonna be short. I think we're gonna end up with 7 bales, which yeah, not where I wanted to be off here, but at least we've got everything baled up now, and we can start collecting that up. I might have to go and find a bale trailer. I'll ask around the other farms, see if anybody's got one for sale, but yeah, that is not a complete bale, which is very, very disappointing. We'll have to try and unload that, I think. We'll see if we can unload that straight to our cows at some point. We'll turn that off for now and lift up the pickup. And I'm just going to take this back to the shed. So there we go. That has been pretty successful insofar as we've got everything baled up today. I'll need to get that collected up over the next couple of weeks. But all in all, a very productive day here on the farm. So I'm going to leave the vlog here for today. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.